Smiley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Wednesday, May 24th. Okay, so today we have the moon moving out of her place of power in this Cancer energy that we've been in for the last couple of days. And we will be moving into Leo energy, getting some fire back in that soul space. But here's the thing. The moon in Leo, we are bold, we are brave, we are courageous. We are semi-attention seeking because we have something to say. We want to be seen. We want to be heard. We really want to express ourselves. And of course, we've been holding a lot in our inner realm that now we're trying to articulate so that we can share it with the world around us. And although that is great, I don't know that we're going to step into that powerhouse energy as of today. Maybe in the days to come. I don't think it's going to happen today. Why is that? Well, because we have some aspects popping off here today that's really going to hold us back, put a filter on this true power of what the moon in Leo is all about. So we're definitely not going to be at full speed with this moon and Leo energy here today because we have some thinking to do, some processing to do, which is going to really hinder us from being as bold and brave and beautiful and stand out-ish as we would prefer to be. So the moon in Cancer is going to go void, of course, at 5:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We lock into that Leo energy 10:35 a.m., of course, Eastern Standard Time. So there are 11 different aspects here today. 8 of them involve the moon. And again, I do not feel like we are really going to tap into the powers of this moon in Leo. We're definitely going to try. We're going to have this underlying urgency and impulse to just roar like a lion, to be heard and really express ourselves and really put ourselves out there and really take action. But again, not the best time for any of those things. So we are going to have to really manage our energy correctly and see what kind of revelations come out of the ever-changing aspects. So the first thing that we have here today, right before the moon goes void, of course, is the moon still very much in Cancer energy in its place of power, trining, which is a beautiful harmonization with Neptune in this Pisces energy. Again, water on water. What are we getting from this? Well, first of all, we're getting new insights. We're getting new dreams. We're getting new intuitive gut reactions on some of the things that we should be kind of pursuing at this point. We are definitely moving into the realm of imagination, of creativity, of fantasy, because that's where the magic happens. And then we have to bring it into this present moment and figure out how it is that we feel about it. And that's what that moon in Cancer is going to offer us an opportunity to do. Then the moon goes void, of course. So just when we're feeling a little bit sure, a little bit certain about a couple of things, then everything goes to hell in a handbag. Why? Because when the moon is void, things get shaky, things get unstable. Emotionally speaking, we are not grounded, we are not safe, we are not secure. It goes against everything that we just tried to accomplish over the last 2.5 days of having the moon be in its place of power in this Cancer energy. So we lock into the Leo energy 10:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The very first aspect that we have is 11:04 a.m. with the moon in Leo directly opposing and sitting across from Pluto, the great transformer himself, who is in this Aquarian energy. Of course, the Aquarian energy, Leo energy sit across from each other in the zodiac wheel. The Leo energy is the heart and soul of the zodiac, where we are uniquely individuals, where we have skills and talents that are uniquely individualized to us, ourselves. That Aquarian energy wants us to abandon that uniqueness, abandon that individuality in order to fit in. Doesn't sound like so much fun. We are more concerned about what other people are going to think of us or other people want from us in the Aquarian energy. Well, we really don't give too many Fs. We just want to be ourselves in the Leo energy. Of course, Pluto, being retrograde, is taking us on a deep dive in the psyche in this Aquarian energy to see where all of these beliefs are, that we have to fit in, that we have to do what we think other people want us to do, that we should be doing what we think other people would expect us to do. We have to kind of analyze the boundaries that we've had in the past, because of course Pluto is all about showing us where it is that we gave our power away, where it is that we failed to boss up, where it is that we failed to take control, where it is that we failed to take authority in our lives because we didn't think that we could stand alone, because we dimmed our light in order to fit in, to be accepted, to be loved, whatever the case may be. Well, Pluto is here to illuminate us of that crappy narrative, of those very limiting beliefs, of that pressurized system that our egoic conditioning has gone under, forcing us to really feel like we shouldn't stand out and instead do whatever is possible to conform and fit in, and illuminate for us where we got to take that power back. The Pluto energy is an empowerment story, but of course you have to go to the bottom of the barrel, the darkest, deepest, level of the pit before you can change your mind about a couple of things and rewrite and reframe your experiences in order to allow yourself to have the power to dig yourself out of that dark hole. And then once you get to the top of the hole, to the, surface level of the land, suddenly you see things differently. Suddenly you're on a power trip. Vowing to never, ever give your power away or let other people have a starring role in the movie that should be you. That's what this is all about. But emotionally speaking, because the moon is involved in Leo energy here, we're really having a hard time trying to figure out how it is that we are going to move forward, because there is a part of us, our heart space, our soul space, that is activated in such a way that is forcing us to stand away from a crowd, to dance to the beat of our own drum, to sit, even if it means sitting by ourselves in our unique perspective, with our skills, with our talents, with our individual, unique, energetic fingerprint. But yet there is a call, there is a pressurized system to not be that outlandish person dancing to the beat of your own drum out in a field in the middle of the rain with a towel as a cape. Instead, you have to put a cap on your crazy. You have to act like everyone else. You have to conform. So there is this kind of back and forth coming up for us right now. And what it comes down to is boundaries. Where are you going to move the goalpost so that you still have the freedom to be your individual self while still being a part of something greater? Where is the boundary so that you can tap into both of those particular parts of self and be satisfied in a sense of wholeness? This is going to be deep. This is going to be revealing. It's definitely going to be a pressurized system in our heart space and in our head space. The moon in Leo will then go ahead, make a positive interaction with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, ruling over roles, responsibilities, structures, and foundations in this Pisces energy. I love this because the Pisces energy is very dreamy, very creative, very intuitive, very magical, very mystical, very spiritual in nature. And of course, the Leo energy, yes, is our egoic identity, our egoic avatar here in this physical realm, but we're able to channel in the higher forms of mysticism, the higher forms of fantasy, the higher forms of imagination. We're able to take our intuitive callings, our mission, our passion, our purpose. We're able to get into that heart space and actually see what is strong enough to reignite the fire, the flame, the spark, if you will, in our heart space, so that we have the boldness, the bravery, the courage that we need to actually pursue these new passions, these new desires. The moon gets in a little bit of a sticky situation, though, because we go ahead, we get into the boxing ring, square off with Jupiter. So Jupiter is about growth and expansion, and in this Taurus energy, it's about growing and expanding our physical realms to not only create a safe, secure, stable reality and circumstance for ourselves, but to build a realm of reality, of existence that not only looks good, but feels good. How do we do that? We get heart aligned. How do we do that? We tap into what it is that we're being called to pursue. What is that? That's the moon in Leo. That is our creative skill, our creative talent to be uniquely individual. What are you in the realm of this world? What are you giving to this world that only you can give? This is your individual energetic signature, but we're getting into a boxing ring. This doesn't feel good. Why? Well, because the moon in Leo wants to hurry up and take action. Wants to be bold and brave and courageous enough to take a risk, to make that move, to take that action, to actually put ourselves on the path of being able to go after our passions, our desires, and whatever it is that's exciting us. Why is this a problem, you may ask? Well, because Jupiter, who wants change, who wants growth, who wants expansion, who wants you to kind of see the bigger, broader picture and the opportunities available, is in Taurus energy. It's a fixed earth sign, so we got to go low and slow. Again, may I remind you, we are meant to be percolating and marinating in our excitement, in our passions, in our desires, not taking action upon them. Anytime you go ahead to take action and you are blocked or given a detour, it's because you're not in alignment with the energies that are either supporting or not supporting the time of action. So when you go ahead and you try to force something and it's not working, you keep beating yourself up and keep beating your head off a wall, and then there's a challenge here and an obstacle there. the key is not to continue to push forward. The key is to say, hey, maybe I'm not in line with the energies right now. Maybe I'm not gifted with the green light, go ahead right now. Maybe I should stand back, be receptive, observe what the universe is trying to tell me, and maybe take a time out until I feel better aligned. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Makes it a little bit hard though, because the moon goes ahead, comes up to, bumps into, teams up with Mars. Mars is fresh in this Leo energy, and he is all about this warrior type of spirit of taking action and progressively pushing ourselves to be aggressive and assertive to go after what it is that we want, even if we have to use anger and frustration as the mode, as the fuel, in order to keep that fire lit in our heart space, in our head space, to keep us motivated and determined, inspired, if you will, to push through the blockages and obstacles and challenges. But here's the thing. The obstacles, the challenges, the blockages aren't physical right now. They're mental and emotional. This is why we're supposed to be sitting in our inner realms trying to sort this shit out. We can't go ahead and take action when our inner realm is not in alignment. This is why we're here to alchemize the energy, to tap in, to beat this video game. You have to know how to use the energy. And the energy is not supporting action. It's supporting percolating on excitement, passion, and desire. And figuring out, strategically speaking, what those actions may be when we're gifted with the green light go ahead to actually take action and make those moves. May I remind you, in the background, we're still under this Jupiter square Pluto. Mars was involved in that just, not even a day ago. So there is some tension here. There is some hurry up and slow down. There is some let's make a change, but maybe think about it before we actually make it type of energy. We're not supported until we get into June. The moon then goes ahead, sextiles the sun. Okay, so the sun is in Gemini energy, shining a light on where it is that we need to go, what it is that we need to do. And in Gemini energy, we have a lot of thinking to do, a lot of planning to do, a lot of choices to make, a lot of research to do. The moon in Leo energy has us percolating, has us stimulated, has us all fired up and ready to go. What do we get when we mix oxygen with fire? We get a very, very big fire that could be possibly out of control. And if we go ahead and we just put our emotions at the forefront without balancing out with our thoughts, with our logic, with our practicality, we are going to burn the place down. If we are sitting in our emotions and not giving any thought to them whatsoever, we are going to act on impulse. And that is the wrong move to make. So what we're gifted with is an opportunity to get in alignment. That's what this whole week is about. Go ahead, listen to the ascension forecast for this week if you haven't already. We go into a very, very detailed look into what this week is. And right now, what this week is trying to get our heart and our head in alignment so that when the green light goes, we're able to engage our physical bodies because we know what actions to take and we know how it is that we feel about it. Just when we're feeling good about things, the moon in Leo is going to get in the boxing ring, square off with the true node. That's our soul point. That's our destiny point. What's happening here is a realization that we can't go ahead and make a move and take action because we haven't processed our thoughts and our feelings in the correct way. This is almost I'm going to say a kitten moment. If the powerful energy of Leo energy is the lion moment, then this is the kitten moment who retreats, who is scared, who wants to go back into the cave, curl up in a ball and lick one's wounds. Why do I say that? Well, because the soul path, the destiny point, when it is aspected in a positive way, it signifies growth. It signifies us making a change. It signifies progress and healing certain wounds that are preventing us from going wholeheartedly into this alignment of taking action and making moves. Now we're picking things apart. Now we're really not sure. And so instead of growth, we're actually hindering our growth. Instead of healing, we're actually just ripping open the scabs and letting those wounds kind of, be fresh once again. And there is nothing worse than a wounded lion because we become very cowardly. We are not brave. We are not bold. We are not courageous. We tend to actually move into the poor woe is me type of narrative. And of course, no progress is being had when we kind of adopt that emotional template and that potential mind frame. To add salt to the wound, let's go ahead and let's just discuss the fact that the sun in Gemini energy will be semi-square, adding tension and conflict, not as much as a square, but enough to be agitated and frustrated with Chiron. Now, before I even talk about this, let's just talk about the fact that right after this aspect, Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, money, in Cancer energy, gets into the boxing ring with Chiron, that wounded healer. So between these two particular aspects, first of all, there's going to be a huge spotlight. Huge light. The sun, of course, shines that bright, beautiful spotlight on where it is that we're not so happy, or we're not feeling so good, we're not feeling so hot, we're not feeling so bold, we're not feeling so brave, we're not feeling satisfied, we're not feeling content, we're not so happy little kittens right now. And that's okay. We have to be aware of that. Venus getting into the boxing ring with Chiron is going to show us where it is that there is a circumstance, there is a situation, a conversation. There is an indication of a trigger, of an activation in our circumstances coming at us in our exterior realm that is going to act as a trigger and activation to put us in a situation to realize how vulnerable we actually are, how unsure, uncertain, how doubtful, how uninspired, how discontent, how unsatisfied we actually are. We need to sit in this funk. This is the only way that humans change, is when we are not happy, when there is a funk, where there is a dark point of discontentment. This is the only way that humans change. So we have to feel it in order to heal it. We have to sit in the funk in order to realize that there's a problem. We have to realize that there's a problem before we can attempt to fix it. It's a whole process. And so it's going to be laid on thick here towards the end of the day. And we're going to wrap the day up with the sun in Gemini energy, making an awkward interaction with the true node, the north node. So what is this giving us an opportunity to do? Well, it's an aspect that usually provides an observation point. That observation point is going to illuminate the choices that we have. And the choices that we need to have right now are kind of, very bare basic. Here we have the opportunity to shut up and settle, to stay in our current circumstances, to continue to do what it is that we've always done, continue to receive what it is that we've always got. Or we can branch away, we can make a change, but that's going to require us to be a different version of ourselves. We can't be that cowardly little kitten in the cave licking his wounds. We have to boss up and embody the lion. And again, here today, we're not gifted with a whole lot of opportunity to really tap into the top-notch degrees of what the moon in Leo is providing us with, that lion energy. We have Mars in Leo energy as well, that warrior type of spirit ready to bust out and take the jungle back. We haven't been supported in tapping into that high-level potent energy here today, but what we are gifted with is an opportunity to choose. And the choices, the decision, the path, the direction is becoming clearer based on us recognizing what it is that we no longer want to experience.